There's one of my friends, red-tailed hawk. I kind of like red-tails. They don't really bother the birds all that much. On occasion they do. One of them goes up in a tree and that red-tail will be eating him pretty quick. Anyway, I'm waiting for the birds to come home. And I think it's a tough toss. It's fairly windy out. I've seen some gusts. I don't know the wind direction, but I did notice when the tossed the birds that today that they kind of hung around a little bit. Today is Friday, March 24th. This is the fifth training toss. They've gone 9, 20, and this will be the third 40-mile toss. I'm gonna tell you a little story. I love stories. My father had his racing home is in New York, up on top of a factory at 120th Street. He had wags. Well, anyway, he catches a young blue tippler hen. He leaves it in the coop, followed the homers in. The next day he lets the birds out, and that tippler goes out and flies with the birds. Stays up there however long they stayed up, I guess an hour and a half maybe. Throws her out the next day, the same thing. That tippler just flew with them homers. She was half the size of most of them wags. She was a very small pigeon. But when he started to train, he packed her up too. She went. Made all the training tosses, no problem. In New York City, they had a training truck. They called it the city truck. Guys would get together, I don't know, pay a few dollars, and the driver would drive them out 125 miles. Well, up on the roof, when the birds come home, on the first drop, there's that blue tippler. A week or so later, they do the same thing. On the first drop, there's that blue tipplet. Every drop, that pigeon was on the first drop. My father got a little disgusted with that because he spent a lot of money on his wags. There's 3 birds coming now. And broken up. That's good. But anyway, that little blue tippler, she was just unbelievable. What's important to me about that, here was a pigeon that didn't have the physique of a homer, didn't have a strong breast muscle, long and thin, but she could keep up with the homers. My father sold that tippler 24 times. Didn't lose her, she kept coming back. I can remember the day that pigeon died. He caught that pigeon in 1955. I was 12 years old. But that pigeon affected me. In so much as here was a pigeon that had nothing like a homer. Wasn't even the same breed, but could fly and beat 25, 30 birds home on training tosses. It affected me big time. Every time I hear stories about this good pigeon or that good pigeon, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are very good pigeons. But it isn't the physique. It isn't the muscles. Something else that's bringing them pigeons home and making them good pigeons. And I think that's what's important about the blue tippler. Okay, I'm going to shut this off. I only got 3 home. The birds are broken up. East winds, hawks and stuff. So we'll see what happens.